Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Transportation Town Hall meeting. The congestions on the roads, the long wait for public transit, or even missing sidewalks. Markham is continuing to grow, and Council has adopted the blueprint of how we move forward to 2031. So what is Markham Council doing to manage the road congestion while continuing to increase the number of residents and jobs? Today, I've invited Mr. Brian Lee, who is the Senior Manager of Special Projects, to give us an overview of the transportation challenges of a large urban center such as the Greater Toronto Area, and explain how the vision and policies of Council are developed to provide more traffic choices. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Brian Lee. Mr. Brian Lee is the Senior Manager of Special Projects in the Engineering Department at the City of Markham. He has 30 years of professional engineering experience. Most of the career is with the public sector, and has worked for the Hong Kong government, Regional Municipality of Peel, City of Toronto, and now with the City of Markham. Brian joined the former town of Markham as the Manager of Development Engineering in 2006, and has since advanced to different positions in the engineering department. His last position was Senior Manager of Development Engineering and Transportation. In that position, he oversaw the approval of engineering design for new developments. He was also responsible for carrying out long-range transportation studies and approval of transportation studies for development applications. In his current role, he oversees a number of special engineering projects, including the future urban expansion area, the official plan, transit planning coordination with other levels of government, and other engineering policies formulation and process mapping. Brian graduated from King's College, University of London in civil engineering, and has a master's degree from Birmingham University in highway and traffic engineering. He is a registered professional engineer in Ontario, a member of the Canadian Institute of Transportation Engineers, and a member of Hong Kong Institution of Engineers. Outside work, he's a mentor for internationally trained engineers. He also enjoys traveling with his family and taking pictures. Brian has lived in Markham for 20 years, and he lives so close enough that he can drive, carpool, take transit, bike, or even walk to work. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for your volunteering your time today as our speaker. Before moving on to Brian's presentation, I would like to remind you that there will be question and answer period. So please feel free to come down to the podiums to share your ideas and to ask any questions. Your inputs are very important to help us work out a plan according to the needs of community. Well, Ontario Premier Honourable Catherine Wynne will make an announcement of transportation funding at Toronto Board of Trade meeting on April 14, 2 days from now. The Ontario budget will be released by the end of this month. We expect that transportation infrastructure funding will be one of the many focuses in the budget. If you would like to receive future updates regarding transportation, please leave your contact information on the sign-in sheet with my Executive Assistant, Fiona Lau. Here I would Also like to say thank you to Fiona, my executive assistant. Without her, this town hall meeting is impossible. Thank you, Fiona. Without further ado, I'm going to let Brian start the presentation. Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you.
I think we can probably dim the light. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming out this afternoon. I want to keep this informal, so if there are pressing questions that you want to raise as I'm presenting, then to make those questions. And if you're going on for too long, then I'll stop here and then ask you to wait till the end to ask those questions. Sometimes I'd rather be showing my pictures of my vacations, because I love to take pictures, and I got lots of those. So maybe on another occasion I can do that. But today our focus is on transportation in Markham, as we all know, and as Councillor Ho alluded to, congestion, transit are some of the things that are high on our residents and our businesses' list of concern. And I want to do today is to run through a few slides with you about some of the principles of transportation planning and how some of these principles have worked its way into the new City of Markham official plan. And I believe, having worked on 3 different official plans in my career, I would say this one is the best I have done. Not because I was involved, but because I think we are understanding more about some of the reasons and some of the concerns of transportation planning. So first of all, I just want to show you a little picture of a boy who's sick and his father's feeling the temperature of his head. And what has this got to do with transportation? And then I want to show you another picture of cars, not in Markham. Can you tell me what's the similarities and the differences between the two? There is obviously something that I want to point out here. There's something important. Yeah, those 2 pictures are both sick. Yeah, no, the main reason is, what I'm trying to say is the fever in the child and the congestion on the road are symptoms. They are symptoms of an issue. They are not the real problem themselves. They are a manifestation of what is happening. So for us to understand, having seen the symptom, we need to understand what is causing that symptom. In the case of the little boy, why is he having a temperature? Is it a virus infection? Why are we having traffic congestion? What is causing that? So we need to look at the way we have grown, and we have to start forecasting the future. This is a picture of the Greater Toronto area, and no prize for guessing when was this done. This was actually the Metro Toronto official plan of 1963. And as you can see, the yellow portion within there are the residential areas, and you see some of the blues, which are the employment areas. And what is this out here? That's Pearson, that's the airport. And where's Markham in here? Where's Markham in here? This is Highway 7, and this is Warden, and we're here. And 34 years ago, we're in the middle of a field, agricultural land. And obviously what I'm trying to say here is that we have grown significantly since that time, since 63, since the 50s, we have grown significantly. Markham population will continue to grow, as you can see in these numbers. We practically doubled by 2011 from 1996, and we will continue to grow. I'm not a land use planner, so you can't ask me why we have to continue to grow. Okay. So, but the thing is, my understanding is the federal government determine how quickly, how fast, and where will the city, will the country grow. That growth is then distributed to different provinces, and there are different federal policies related to how they encourage people to grow in different provinces. And then at the provincial level, the growth is then distributed to the different regions, and the regions will distribute that growth to the various area municipalities. And these are the growth forecasts for population that has been targeted for the city of Markham. There is a corresponding set of values for jobs. I have not shown them here, but basically, as a round number, the city of Markham is going to grow about 150,000 people in the next 20 years and about 100,000 jobs. Next, I want to talk a little bit about the problem with the continuing growth and the way we grow. We love our cars, and a lot of people tell me that they move to the suburbs, they move to the 905 because they want to drive the cars, and I can understand that. But let's look at this little circle here. I think we can all relate to the issue of congestion. We have congestion right now in a lot of major cities. In fact, the greater congestions are not in the North American cities, but are now in the Asian cities. The growth in private car ownership has multiplied many, many times. So we start off with congestion. The problem with congestion is that people are stuck in traffic. They're sitting there. Then the first thing they ask is, why don't we widen the roads? Why don't we widen the roads? Why don't we build more flyovers? There's public pressures to the politicians to increase capacity of the road. And then we widen the road. We increase the size of the intersection. We try to satisfy the growth in traffic by having more capacity. Movements becomes easier. Initially, after you widen the road, it's much better. We can move faster. We can move further. When movements are easy, then people will move further away. People will live further away. And then we have the start of the urban sprawl. The urban sprawl allows people to live further away because there's better transportation. What then happens is the average length of movements will increase. People are now living 20 kilometers, 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers away, and we have people in our office who live further away, and this is causing some of the traffic congestion. The number of movements will increase, and that will again continue the congestion issue. So we must change the way we travel, change the way we plan our transportation infrastructure. One thing we can be sure is that our current travel behavior is not sustainable. We can't continue to increase the width of our road, to increase capacity, and then have more and more cars. This is not sustainable. Not only do we realize that there are environmental effects, there's financial effects, and there are a lot of other social behavioral effects with the increasing commuting time. Can we, or should we, continue to widen roads to solve the congestion symptom? This is actually a picture. You may think this is somewhere in the States, but actually this is just the 401 south of the airport. The airport, the little blue dot I showed you earlier on in the Metro Toronto official plan. So this is the 401. How much wider do you want it to be? This is still congested every morning, and the negative impact of continuing widening road is significant. There are a lot of research, there are a lot of technical papers written on those subjects, and I'm not going to go into all of them. So the issue is not whether we can, but whether we should. I just pulled this out from the internet. You can go onto Google and find all sort of information out there. The writing on the bottom is a bit small for you to see. But what the blue line is the increase in number of vehicles over the time from 1970 to up here, which is 2020 with a bit of projections. So the red line is China. And as I mentioned earlier, the rate of growth of private vehicle as economy in a number of these Asian cities are booming has caused significant problems in transportation in some Asian cities.